session when technology is critical to solve security challenges. So it will begin shortly. So requesting moderator to lead the session. So thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, all. So the topic of this panel is security technology, thinking and leadership when technology is critical to solve critical security challenges. And for that, we have eminent panelists, all led by women, moderated by men. So it is difficult to moderate. So let me throw open, some security challenges to the panelists. So now hackers are using sophisticated tools, but as a security practitioner, we can cope up with that space. AI versus AI. All the hackers are now using AI for doing malicious activity, and now we are purchasing security services which is claimed by the security provider that they are using AI and ML. So now it is AI versus AI, good AI versus bad AI. How do you cope up with the attrition in information security team? Because that's a very challenging during this time. Because retaining a team resource after getting them skilled is very difficult, and getting buy-in from management for purchasing a new security solution is also a challenge. How do you convince them that you require a certain security solution, and why do you want to use that? And the last question that I'll throw upon is that insider attackers. When you have a disgruntled employee in your team or in your organization, how do you cope up with that? So I'll ask Divya to start with. Everyone can introduce themselves and then throw open your opening remarks.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Divya Gupta and I am working with IKEA India. It's been 3.5 years with IKEA. I'm information security and data privacy leader there, looking for all the stores and the offices in India. I have around 16 plus years of experience in information security, and thank you DSCI and to give me opportunity to be here today and give my opinions about it. While talking about AIs and how it is dealing with, so of course AI is a very fascinated world right now. Everybody, not only IT professionals, but everybody and public also is very fascinated about how to use AI, what are the information we get through AI. And very good example is ChatGPT. Everything is like you just enter and everything is there on the page. However, we need to ensure that people do get the details as how this works, what is the information it is fetching and from where it is fetching. So the most important thing is the awareness is the key. What I see is a very strong security feature which we can give to all our users, also in our work environment and also in the public. That the information which is coming through AI is not only the system generated, but is somewhere is human fed information. Not always it is 100% correct. So some examples in our organization we have done that some questions we asked ChatGPT and how it answers. For example, we asked that do we get a refrigerator in IKEA? And the answer was yes. So that was a very simple example which gave a kind of awareness what kind of information is we are getting through ChatGPT or any AI tool. So I think awareness is the key tool. Of course, how we end up, we cannot stop AI because that's the generation which is going now. And it is the next level or the next generation for all the IT professionals, all the public areas where AI is for fun also and for IT work as well. So for me, it is awareness, best security practices, and to, in a very simple term, to make people aware how it is useful and how it is harmful. So yeah, that is my opinion.
So Divya, you said that AI is more fascinated. I would say AI is more abused now. So, okay. Yeah. So now Ranjani.
Sure. Okay. Good morning to all my fellow secure and insecure or unsecure digital Indians. Yeah. So the reason why I am addressing like this today is, I think data, there are going to be only two types in today's world. Before I talk about those two types, a quick show of hands. how many of you classify data into like secret or confidential or internal use within the company? Most of us, right? Yeah. But I would say I think it's not going to make much sense in the future, because in my parlance, data is going to be only two types. That is data which is leaked, and the other one is data which is yet to be leaked. Yeah. There's going to be only these two in future. Okay. And the time that is taken to reduce, the time that is taken to change the status from one to another is reducing from months to minutes. Yeah. So this is what we are seeing in current world. Okay, and as things are like kind of, as he said, like because of the advanced tech, it is becoming very, very faster and quicker. So that's what we are seeing. That's number one. And two, if you look at it, the kind of compromises that we are seeing today, it is no longer getting confined to crown jewels. I think most of us understand the crown jewels, right? Like the most valued, I would say, asset of an organization, be it the IP or your business secrets and things like that. But I believe these days the hackers are not just going behind that, but they are going behind everything. Yeah. So in that case, I would say technology is going to be one of the key, imperative need of any organization to handle such kind of, I would say, defense in width. So we have most of the time talked about defense in depth, but I think it's time for us to look at defense in width, which is where technology is going to play a key role. So that's point number two is what I would say. Now coming to the kind of attacks that we are seeing, apart from the hackers' motives, the attacks that we are seeing today, I would say we have been talking about all of us on AI, but I think we are, I definitely believe that yes, we are talking about it, but then in a very limited parlance. I think we are yet to observe a kind of a new age attack. That's what I would call it. What do I mean by new age attack is, all these days we are talking about AI versus AI, but again, these are all human triggered. But yeah, recently I read wherein big model is trying to train a small model in terms of how it can do things. So when the same thing starts happening for, let's say, an adverse situation, or like when it comes to a compromise, let's say an AI triggers an attack on other systems on its own without being triggered by a human, I think that's when it is going to be really scary or chaotic. Yeah, because it's not going to be driven by you or any one of us or somebody else, and no, we will not even know that we are being attacked. It's going to be very, very under the carpet, and that is where I think technology again is going to be helping us out. So that's what I think we all should be prepared for. I think I have scared you all enough, I believe. Yeah. So, but I definitely believe that there are going to be solutions, and that's what I think the OEM should look for. And no, we should all, as a professional or as a community, should work together on this. So these are my opening thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. Your opening remarks.
So artificial intelligence, we cannot avoid. AI will be there. Only thing is it has to be matured, and we all definitely will strive towards bringing it for our use and face the problems, face the incidents positively, and take it to a better maturity model. So we have to live with it, and always there will be changes, and we have to go along with the changes and use for our benefit.
Okay. Short and crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So over to Divya. So how do you think that technology is critical to solve security challenges? Does it require element of people and process along with technology?
Yeah, so I think technology is very important. We all are living in technological world, and I think when we say technology in security, it's the key ingredient in security domain, because now everything, the attackers are using technology, and hence we have to be trying to be 2 steps ahead of them when it comes to technology, because with technology we identify the risk at a very faster pace, of which we were not able to do in previous years. So as soon as now the time is so important while capturing these kind of incidents. The time incident happens and how fast you recover, or how fast you detect, all depends on technology. It all depends on the solutions what we are using, what are the preventive measures, the technological preventive measures we are using, and hence technology plays a very key role when it comes to security. I think there is no organization which can enable security without technology. So technology is very important, and hence we are giving also a good pace to startups which are coming up with new solutions for technological solutions which are helping us to even minimize the time to detect the incidents and to recover from the incidents. And these are the main things which are going on in the current world, that how fast you detect and how fast you recover is the thing which keeps on going in the security. However, of course, people and process are very important. Without people and process, technology cannot work. So, of course, we need technology, but technology is also dependent on people and on the processes. People have to decide which technology is best for the business, which technology will help them to recover or find the incidents as soon as possible. And decision making sits with people. So the more we have awareness in the people, the more good mindsets we have, the more we can do faster decision making. That is where the technology can help. Where the people are not there, for example, if the management is not ready to take any decision on any incident, technology cannot help, right? And then processes, I deeply believe that processes, documented processes, are very important. Why it is important is, in case when you have to keep a pace on certain processes, the technology work on processes. So to keep a pace, if a new person is joining the organization, if you don't have a process, it will take a lot of time to run that process. So it is very important that processes are also placed, people are also indulge in it, and then we can use the technology. I'll say alone technology cannot help anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So unless you have a defined process, there will be an arbitrary, or you can say misuse of the technology, because everybody will use their own methodology, and there can be a chaos.
Yes.
Okay, Ranjit.
Yeah.
Do you think critical thinking is required for security leadership?
I think we should also ask the audience. Do you think it is needed? Yeah, as leaders, we need it, right? Yeah. So, main thing that where we need critical thinking is today, as I said, we are moving from just defense in depth to both defense in depth and defense in width. And I think for the last 2 days, I've been hearing many CISOs do not get enough budget, right? Yeah, and but we have, in the sense, it boils down to we have very limited resources, and but the expectation is to protect maybe each and every nook and corner of the company these days. So now, how do we balance it? Yeah, and where do I invest my funds? Which is where I think I would say critical thinking is very much essential to determine, so that we make right decisions for the company. Yeah, so this is where I think it very much is needed. And beyond that, I think we need to be also wary about how do we groom our talent. Yeah, so today I think we are trying to groom our talent in all directions, but I think we should be very critical in terms of focusing what kind of attacks are going to be specific to my organization, and how do I groom my talent towards mitigating those attacks. Yeah, so I think there also critical thinking is going to be essential, is what I feel. So these are the two areas which I think we as leaders should be thinking on. Yeah. So.
Okay, thank you. So Annapurna, how do you keep pace with the growing security challenges?
So it is a very big, debatable and much thought-oriented question. We have to live in the current days, in the present. We have to understand. Actually, CISOs or security professionals, we should sit on the edge of the organization, wherever required, we peep into outside world, and wherever required, we have to jump into the inside the organization. So outside in, inside out, all these things are very much important. And all monitoring all security challenges, proper risk analysis with gap assessment, these things very well help to understand the risk profile or security posture of the organization, and take the new challenges, understand the new challenges, and combat them. Apart from this, groups like this, professional groups, really help understanding each other's problems. And yesterday, Vinayak sir was rightly saying, collaboration is very much required. And it's happening at at surface level, but more deeper collaboration is required to understand the security challenges and for the preparedness. So yesterday one of the speakers is saying the future is very fast than what we are expecting, what we are realizing. So to match that speed, one brain is not adequate. So we all have to work together, and having each brain is equal to this many number of brains. That's how we can keep pace.
So, Annapurna, hackers collaborate easier than we do.
That's what. We don't have those intentions, right? That is the problem. We go in a straightforward manner. And we consider so many things, organizational requirements, our product requirements, business requirements, so many things. For them, only this is the goal. And they collaborate more. They have more soft skills, hard skills, everything. Okay? So even we can have ethical hackers along with us. Again, security comes with cost, right? So cost benefit analysis we have to do. If really we have that kind of requirement, we can do that. So every one of us cannot have ethical hackers, right? So like we have to collaborate. Collaboration is the key nowadays to meet the security challenges.
Okay. So again, since this question is very pertinent, so I'll ask Divya and Ranjani both to share views. How do you keep pace with growing security challenges? First Divya, then Ranjani. You can.
Yeah, so I think, so what I see is you have to be very sure that change is the only thing which is going on. Every day there is a new technology, every day there is a new ransomware or new virus coming in, and you have to ensure that you are 2 steps ahead of what is coming in. Unless you have that kind of technology, that kind of mindset to be prepared, I think it won't be possible to keep a pace. So first of all, you have to be ready. Of course, tomorrow or even second, anytime anything can happen. So you have to be prepared for, you have to ensure that all the technologies are in place. Also, it is very important not to see what good we can do, but also to understand what are the loopholes we have already in our infrastructure or in our networks or in our applications. So to understand what is lacking is also a good opportunity to understand what will come next and what are the areas where we have to improve our security side. So rather than always seeing forward, I think it is very good approach to take a step back and to understand where we stand, what are the loopholes, what are the other industries doing as a good practices, is there anything we can learn from each other, and if that is a good learning rather than a competition, we can steal with pride the good practices from each other.
Okay. Ranjani.
Another point to add is, you were asking critical thinking, how it is relevant for security challenges. So critical thinking plays a vital role in this. See, basic thing in every organization, leadership will not involve at ground level work, even in security. So to analyze analytics or logs or whatever it is, so somebody does that and we'll try to understand what has happened. We cannot see and ponder into all those things, right? So to get the right information, we have to question. Then we have to interpret, analyze, then evaluate. We have to understand whether really that is the thing or if anything else is there, and we have to ask the right questions. So after doing all these things, we have to judge what has happened really, and that judgment should be 100% accurate to take accurate decision, right? So from that point onwards, to select a product, security product. So whether it suits our requirement or not, vendor promises so many things. So many things will be under carpet. So we will never go with 100% accuracy when we are taking a decision. So 90% we go by data, and rest of the 10%, again, some part we have to rely on our thinking, and which we may not be able to document, but still go with the cues available, right? So a selection of the product, then anticipating risks. And whenever there is change in business, change in infrastructure, or change in personnel, whatever it is. So at every place, critical thinking is very much required for the leadership.
Yeah.
So should I talk about the security challenges again?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Talking to how do we keep pace with the security, changing security challenges, right? I think first we need to develop a mindset. We should accept saying that the products that we have today are built for handling the attacks of the past. Yeah, so they are not built for handling the attacks of the future. So we need to accept this reality first, and then make efforts, right? So we know what we know. So, but there is going to be a lot of things that we also don't know. So our preparedness should be towards what we don't know, because what we know, I think at least we do have some sort of, I would say, protective measures through the tools that we have deployed or the controls that we have. So if we are prepared to handle the unknown, I think, and the efforts are directed towards that, I think that is, I would say, the best way to be prepared for the upcoming security challenges. So that's my thought.
Okay. Just to add one thing, you said vendors will make promises. They
Yeah.
will make promises only till the PO is issued.
Yeah.
Once the PO is issued, they will engage some partner and then you are left.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Divya, does security leadership now need to learn business as well to solve security challenges, keeping business in mind?
I think it's a very good question, and I should tell that a business doesn't like ISDPs. They don't like information security professionals because the first thing is we say no, and that's why they always think we are the hurdles doing the business. But yeah, it is very important that we include business as well because uh, it's like we both should understand the requirement. They should understand why we need security, and we should understand how we can run the business. So there are a lot of technologies which is used for the business, right? And we cannot implement everything because of some security challenges. So at times we have to say no to business, but it's always good to understand what they need and how better we can do in a secure way. So we have to always ensure that we include business while doing security leadership. In our organization also, security leadership and businesses always have meetings so that we understand each other, rather than just saying that CISO is not a good person because she always says no. So yeah, that is what I say, that at times it happens that there is some good campaigns are going on, and we are using some third-party applications which might not be very secure, and then we say no. So rather than saying no, we can just say we can do it in another way and in a secure way, so that later on business should not stop because of any security reasons, and we get profit as well. Of course, everybody needs bonus. So yeah, so business has to be a key ingredient in seeing the security things and how to take decisions on security. Also, when we talk about business, I also, as I mentioned earlier, awareness is the key. So not only the management side of the business, but the on-ground people who are really helping us to run the business should know how security is involved in their day-to-day life. On ground, they do not get any kind of time to go through awareness materials, to go through trainings. They are not sitting in AC rooms or anything. In IKEA, of course, how many of you have been to IKEA store? Oh, that's nice. Good amount of people. Yeah, so in a store, as you know, they work from 9 to 10, and there is no time for security awareness. We do not get time to go for taking the awareness sessions because really they are busy with customers and all. And they are the front enders. So how we ensure that they also understand security is what we keep in mind, that we go and meet them when they are in break, or we do shifts, take trainings, and understand what they do actually. Unless a CISO understand how the business is run, I cannot help securing the organization. So I have to be in the store at many a times to understand what they do, how they interact with the customers, because they are front-ending and there might be a lot of loopholes for giving and taking the information, which is critical for the business. So I'm a hurdle, but I'm not a villain.
Okay. Ranjani. Technology keeps evolving.
Maybe I can add to what
Sure.
Divya said. I think I very much agree with Divya. But then what I wanted to kind of highlight is, before I make this comment, a quick disclaimer. So this, whatever I'm telling is my own personal opinion. Nothing can be attributed to my company. Okay, so what we have seen is the other side in terms of we not understanding business. Yeah, so because when companies are very large in nature, it is very difficult for a single person or even a department to understand how a company works if it is having diverse businesses within its own conglomerate, right? So in such case, what happens is, like, say for example, there could be just one rogue server lying somewhere, which we haven't or we are yet to discover, I would say, and a compromise of that leads to the reputational impact of the whole company. Yeah, I'm not talking about, so it's just one system lying in some one remote corner, which we wouldn't have even imagined. And that has been probably managed by the business. It is not under maybe the global IT. So this leads to probably, I would say, our lack of understanding of the business. And as is it possible humanly for us to understand everything? Probably not. So this is where I said, like, no, understanding defense in width is going to be very crucial in the coming days. So we should be prepared for anything happening in any remote corner of the world. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, Anpuna wants to add. So
Yeah. So, see, security is existing for IT, and IT is existing for business. So, definitely, IT people and security personnel, they have to understand the business. There is no other go. Unless we understand the business, we cannot provide proper service. So, while taking care of security, our main aim is to see that business goes well. So, and customer experience should not be hampered. So, as Divya is saying, it may be a hurdle, but it should not be a villain. Security will not be a villain, right? So, it should be, all these things should be aligned. And another thing is, security provides in a proper way, sees smooth functioning of the business, smooth functioning of returns, okay, and top line, bottom line, everything. So security is existing only to see that business goes well, and there are no frauds, maybe application side, maybe network side, or anywhere. So it is an ensuring mechanism, not what you say, to reduce the pace of the business. So that we should be able to make the management understand.
okay.
So maybe I think the management will understand when there is a critical incident. Yeah. So that's how I see it. So as long as I think all management put, I would say, a very huge resistance as long as you have that first critical incident. Once you have it, I think the kind of questions that gets asked changes, and the kind of sanctions that you get also changes. So I'm not saying that you should pray for that one critical incident, but what I'm saying is they are yet to realize it, and sometimes time makes the difference.
That is why now, Ranjani, after an incident, after RCA is asked, this is, they ask, what is the lessons learned?
Yes, yeah, very much. Yeah, I think the lessons learned is not for the information security professions, but more for the management. Yeah. So that's how I see it. Yeah.
Okay. So, Ranjani, technology keeps evolving, but do you think aspects like back to basic ideology is still required?
Definitely. So
Because we are hearing a lot of jargons nowadays, CSPM, everything.
Yeah.
But it is just an extension of hardening.
Yes.
It's a basic rule.
Yeah, yeah. So I think back to basics are, I would say, all of us are expected to have or like follow some basic hygiene practices, right? So back to basics is nothing but the same in the business. So I don't think there will be any question about that. Yeah, in the organization, even though whatever technology comes, I think people are going to be around, right? And for people, definitely it is essential that they understand the basics. When I talk about basics, it's all about the triad of security, that's ensuring that we maintain confidentiality, then the integrity and the availability, right? So this triad is going to be there forever, and ensuring that we try to achieve these goals are definitely going to be there. Yeah.
Okay. You want to add anything, Anupurna, on that? Back to basic.
Yeah. See, without basics, we cannot survive. That is the root. Okay, we should have wings, but still we should have basics. So confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Without that, there is no security at all. How much ever everything is built over that. Your threat analysis, AI, whatever it is built over that. So CIA is very, very important. Not only that, one mantra is there in security, providing access on need-to-know basis. So that is the mantra. And wherever you are, whatever is the application, whatever is the tool, you have to do it. You have to follow it. Similarly, always I remember Johari window whenever I think of security. What Johari window says is in transactional analysis, something which I know and you know makes you more understandable. Okay, I know, you don't know is a blind area for others. I don't know and you know about me is the blind spot for me. And I don't know, you don't know, it is totally blind. So when it comes to security, all the others are very bad except I know, you don't know. That would be better. As far as possible, I know, you don't know is the more secured thing when it comes to security. That funda we have to follow.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
When we talk about going to back to basics is as of now we have so many sources of data, not only from inside the organization but outside the organization. We are flooding with data, we are flooding with the information, and we are also overloaded with assumptions of a process, assumptions of our experience, what we have been. For example, 16 years I have a particular way of working. You might have different ways of working, you might have different assumptions. At times the problems are sitting with us and we are banging our head, and we are not getting, what is the solution for it. But at times it is very good to relearn or stay back and just go back to the basics, and then you will realize that, the answer is in the basics. So yes, going to basics is very important, and it is also important that we relearn the things, unlearn the things at times, so that we can restart or do a fresh thinking of a problem or a security things. So I'll say at times it is good to set our assumptions aside, our experience aside, and a person who is a fresher might also be answer of our questions at times.
Correct. So I'll throw a question to all now. How do you tackle issues like brain drain of security professionals as a security leader? Attrition is very challenging. So, okay, Ranjani wants to start.
Yeah, I think she gave the difficult question to me. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think this is a never-ending problem. Again, it's going to be more of an acceptance of reality, because cybersecurity is one of the niche skills in the industry, and we will continue to see this brain drain or huge attrition. Yeah, so the only way that we have worked is today, even if I hire from the lateral, I think I know that they are going to stay with me for let's say 2 or 3 years. But what we have seen is when we invest in grooming the talent from the beginning, we have run a program with IIT Madras, wherein we define the curriculum for, I would say, people who have finished their schools. When I say schools, engineering schools, so we call it as a finishing school program, and that program wherein we kind of shortlist good minds from India, and then identify maybe the top 30 qualifiers, and then train them on a curriculum which is specifically designed by Sony along with IIT Madras. So this gave us good, I would say, returns. One, we were able to kind of retain them for longer, because they understand the culture of Sony even before joining Sony. So, and they also understand the technologies in which we work. So we didn't have to spend much time in terms of training them, but at the same time, of course, it comes with a cost. So they also are aware of the investment that the company is making, and we see that they are able to kind of sustain with us for longer duration compared to maybe I go and directly hire from the market or directly hire from the campus. So this is one of the ways we have tried to tackle, but I would not say that is enough. But then, of course, there is always better ways to kind of manage talent. It is going to be a never-ending story, is what I would say, and we need to find out or come up with ways and means to do it better. So, but yeah, anything from the audience also, we will be interested to learn and then practice in our company.
Sometimes we feel we are running a training center.
Yes.
And when we train them, they are campus based by somebody else.
Yes, yeah. But I think when you really are training them and you integrate them into your culture even before they join, that creates a kind of a bonding. And if you have a true leadership and a mentorship to those students, I think I have seen that it works. People get more, I would say, attracted towards the value system of the company, and they ensure that they wanted to stay with us for long. So I think it's the message that the leadership also, I would say, is essential. Yeah. So the message that the leadership gives also. So that has worked out, at least in our case. Yeah.
Anpurna, your views, and Divya. Okay.
So, when it comes to brain drain, we can view it at two levels. One is at national level, one is at organizational level. At national level, I think nowadays it is there is healthy atmosphere in India with encouragement prevailing for the startups. So, new generation, they are into entrepreneurship and they are developing products and they are doing so much. So, they have encouragement and ecosystem for that. So, a little improvement is there from that aspect. When it comes to organizations, there are two reasons, in my view, people leave. One is for better pay, second thing is better opportunity. So as long as we can match these two things, they will be able to stay. Otherwise, they'll leave. As Ranjani told, we have to accept the fact, reality.
One more factor is a hostile manager.
Yeah. That anyway, nobody will stay. Yeah.
Divya, your
Yeah. So I'll say security domain is a very vast domain. It is not like a project we do. You join a company and you do a project and then you move to another project. It is not like that. It is always an ongoing activity. And when a new person join, especially the people who are coming out of colleges and they from technical backgrounds, they are very much in josh that let's do this, let's do this. And when they are into cybersec and all, they have lot of platforms where they can showcase their talent, right? Not only in the organization but outside also. There are lot of platforms. They go for hackathons. They do lot of research and all. So they have lot of josh that they want to showcase. But if they are not getting that environment in the organization where they can showcase their talent, where they can showcase their josh and all, I think that is why they start moving out. So in case we can create an environment for them, of course, we can have a digital lab where they can play around with the things, of course, not the production things, but yeah, where they can showcase. And when we can use those kind of talent that, okay, this talent we can use somewhere, we can use in cybersecurity or somewhere, I think then the motivation is the something which can hold them back. What more they can get in the organization is something which keeps them intact. But if there is something they are going to do on a daily basis, but nothing new is coming up, because in security, I think everybody wants to do something new which can improve the organization and the security features. And security is, as I said, it's a vast domain. Every new thing, every day, it's a new thing coming in. So to keep that josh intact is something organizations and management have to consider. What more we can give to them so that they can, it is a win-win situation. They will give back to us what we are giving to them. And on a final note, I would like to add is it's my deep thinking that information security, we all know what it is. But what about the people who are outside the organization or outside IT thing? They don't know what is information security. And it is taking the India as a country back, that the people who are outside, who are our customers or our family members, friends, relatives, they do not understand the data privacy. So my message to everyone, or whoever is okay to take it, is that information security and data privacy should be in, a subject in schools, so that we get the professionals from that level, so that we do not have this brain drain anymore. So I think that is something it should be added as a subject, so that even if children understand, especially the data privacy, what type of data we are sharing everywhere. And because we understand, but do we think all our family and friends understand? I don't think so. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good feedback. So Ranjani, the last question to you is that how do you see role of governance in security function or department, and how does it help in solving security challenges?
Yeah, so governance is going to be very, very essential, right? Like, what do I mean by governance? Means it is the ability to take a decision and also structure your organization. Yeah, so as ma'am told, right? Like, critical thinking is all about decision making. Yeah, so why do we need to think critically is to make decisions for the organization. So, and that needs to be done quickly. And the agility can be built only when your organization structure is defined like that. So if you have a huge hierarchical structure, then I think your decision making is also going to be impacted, which will impact your, I would say, the ability to respond to an incident. Like today we have reporting times of maybe 6 hours. I would recommend it should be lesser, because the attackers are much getting smarter and faster than us, and the kind of attacks that we are seeing are becoming more like an airstrike, whereas we are prepared for a land strike. Yeah, the airstrikes are more, I would say, swift, precise, and devastating. Yeah, and so we need to be prepared with, I would say, deflectors. We cannot prevent it, so we need to be prepared with deflectors to avoid these attacks, and that could happen only when you have a, I would say, efficient organization. Yeah, so from that point of view, governance is going to be very, very essential or key for any cybersecurity organization. And as much as possible, at least for the escalation paths, I would say it should be more flatter in nature rather than too hierarchy driven, so that the decision making can be quicker, and then we are able to kind of respond much faster to the challenges that we are facing. So these are my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to add?
Yeah. I echo with your point. There should not be bureaucracy when there is governance. So governance, it should be as agile and as dynamic as the information security is growing nowadays, requirement is growing nowadays. And frameworks, policies, all these things, they should be in a fashion that they can be continually improved, reviewed very frequently, and institutionalized at the earliest. And very soon everything is going to be faded away. So there is not much time. So it should be that dynamic.
So actually, I follow a strategy of do what you document and document what you do. Because typically what I have seen, I have been into audit, I was heading the audit. People write very good things in the policy, but when you ask at the implementation, they will say that it is not possible. Then why you have written it?
Then they're not non-conforming.
Yeah. So that is the issue of governance, because in order to please somebody in audit, they will write very good things in policies, but in ground level it is not done.
Very good point you brought in. Governance, it should be replica of all the compliances a particular organization has to comply. So all these things, we cannot have a number of frameworks, number of policies, number of standards. So all put together, there should be one policy, one framework, and one process. So that is to be continually improved.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it should also, the policy should be simple enough so that it can be implementable. Yes. And two, when you have defined it in terms of process, it should be streamlined enough so that you can automate it. Yeah, so because I don't think in future we will go ahead in terms of doing a checklist based audits. Yeah, so I think it's no longer going to be the requirement, I would say, or even if it is going to be, it should be automated. Yeah, so because it's going to be that back to basics problem, right? Like it's a hygiene, and so I don't think we should be spending effort towards it. So our policy should be defined in such a way that I am able to create simple processes which can be automated, which can automatically be checked also. So that way, I think if we define our governance, I think that will pay for better management of security programs. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have 2 minutes. So closing comment, just 1 or 2 points which you want to recommend to people.
Yeah, I want to highlight always on awareness. I think that is the key. If everybody understands information security and data privacy, I don't think we have to invest more or think more about it. If every co-worker in the organization knows his or her responsibility and accountability when it comes to information security, not only on professional way but on personal side as well, I think we will be in a very much better position. And again, my recommendation is to always going forward to keep information security and data privacy as a subject in the school, so that we grow not only in the organization but as a nation as well.
Okay. Ranjani.
Okay, I would like to say security is incomplete without you, yeah, as security professionals. So let's all work together. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, ensuring top-down approach, like coming from convincing, impressing upon the board and the top management will take us a long way. So that effort will not be a waste, along with that awareness programs and continual learning on security.
Okay. thank you. We have closed within the time because the security is always asked to be in budget, be on. So we are within the budget. So now, any questions from the audience?
Hi, my name is Samir. I am from CyberNow Solutions, a startup based out of Pune, and we are focusing on awareness. So my question is related to awareness. I think we have always been focused on educating everyone on what to do and what not to do, but we still see so many technical professionals based out of Pune falling for scams and losing crores and crores of rupees, like whether it's task frauds or whether it's romance scams. Do you think whatever current education we are providing, is it enough, or we need to kind of go beyond that to raise awareness?
Yeah, I think the ways of awareness is something we need to think of. If it's a very psychological mind, if somebody says you don't do this, the brain will say yes, I will do that. Let's see what happens next, right? So I do not believe in the awareness which talks about do's and don'ts. Nobody is interested in it. Giving a very practical example or giving what can you lose if you do this or you don't do this is something which can be a kind of image which can go in their mind. So what we have to think is, if I say don't tailgate, they won't understand. They will definitely tailgate. So I think we have to understand what are the new ways of awareness we can do, how we can involve them in awareness, so that they also don't see themselves as a teacher or a student kind of thing, but as a participant. Once they start participating, the awareness will increase. So I think we have to understand more of the psychological behavior of human, how awareness can be given in the mind of the human beings. Yeah.
I have one more point to add in this. When you're talking about schools, one problem in our country we are facing is, I do not know how many agree with me, discipline. Anything, any instruction once given, to follow that religiously, that will not be lacking. That is the major problem. If we can inculcate that from the beginning, from childhood, then it will take us a long way in every matter, not only security, not only ethics, anti-corruption or whatever it is, many social problems will be resolved.
It's about good parenting then.
Good parenting, good teaching or whatever it is. But that culture has to be, from roots it has to be improved. So we lack in discipline. That is a problem.
Any other questions?
Hi, I have one more question. One question. So, hi, I'm Pooja Shimpi, founder and CEO of CyberNow Solution, and it's a great panel because I attend so many conferences, but I hardly get to see such kind of panel where there are so many women panelists, and it's truly insightful. So, my question to you is. We always talk about security risk, and there are so many technological advances happening. But I would like to know that whether at a board level or at a senior leadership level, do big organizations discuss the risk of improving security culture, or do they talk about security culture at all?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I think for the management, what they have realized is security cannot be built in a day, right? Like, so it has to, it takes years, and no, that's a cultural change, and that's something the management always realizes. So not just for security, I would say, even for building things like privacy or ethics and no things associated with, like how ma'am said, disciplining ourselves, right? These are all, I would say, disciplining factors, and these are of, I would say, top priority in the discussions in the leadership meeting. But of course, at the board level also, this gets discussed because it's going to be a long-term vision for them, right? Like, no, to build a culture in the organization. Definitely, it is getting discussed, Pooja, and I think that's a good sign. So may not have been in the past, but then now it is being given more importance. Yeah.
In regulated space, I'll just add, RBI issued guidelines that, board has to be trained on information cybersecurity every quarterly. And for being a member of a, like a IT strategy committee of the board, RBI says the board member has to have, expertise on IT and security.
Yeah.
So that's what they want to bring, that culture also, that, board understands the technology.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for being here, first of all, and thank you for this question. And mostly, not every organization is same. In some places, it is not a top topic to discuss in the board, but in some cases it is there. But how you can put in the board is always like you have to. The board is always important in the business. They give the importance to the business, what I am gaining and what I am losing. So if you are able to give the facts and figures in the board meetings about security, what will happen if you are not doing this? This will be the impact to your business. That is somewhere you can inculcate that kind of thought process in the board members, so that they understand, oh, if I don't do this, this is something my business will suffer. But if we only talk about awareness, or if you talk about internal processes, they won't understand. They are not IT professionals, or they might not be security professionals to understand what virus is, what is ransomware. But if you say something about how business can get impacted, I'm definitely sure that they will give importance to security.
Any other? Okay. So thank you all panelists.
Thank you.
So thank you for
Thank
all
you
the
all.
panelists, and there is a small token of gratitude from our side. Okay.